welcome to Disco Disco Gaming. Another week, another tune. And today's tune comes straight from the late 90s, early 2000s, from a console that was way ahead of its time, the Sega Dreamcast. In this video, I'm going to show you how to play Dreamcast games on modern Android handhelds with upscaled resolution, HD texture packs, and settings that make this game look shockingly good on small screens. If you have ever wondered how far you can push Dreamcast emulation today, this is the one for Android. But before we jump into the settings and eye candy, let's rewind for a second. The Dreamcast launched in the US on September 9th, 1999. Yes, 9/9/99, which is still one of the cleanest console launch dates ever. Sega went all in. Online gaming built in, arcade-perfect ports, bold design choices. This thing felt like the future. And yet, it failed. Bad timing, bad business decisions, the looming shadow of the PlayStation 2 with DVD. The Dreamcast was gone far too soon. But here's the thing. Even though the console died early, the games absolutely did not. I'm talking Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Soul Calibur, Shenmue, Power Stone. These games still hold up, and with modern emulation, they don't just hold up, they shine. So today, we are giving the Dreamcast the glow up it deserves. Higher resolution, cleaner textures, and running on handhelds that fit in your backpack and in your pocket. Let's make the Dreamcast disco again. Let's start with HD texture packs for the more modern, more refined looks of your Dreamcast game. Probably I have to say here as a disclaimer, not everyone's thing. You see here the difference from right to left. Right, the texture pack, left is the original. It changes the look and feel of the games. So it's something that you really need to like, or you don't, or you actually hate it. If you don't like it, you can skip this step and we can continue then later on with setting up the emulator. But for me, it is a very, very nice visual upgrade, and I want to thank here the community. And I will put a link down below of the Reddit where you will find the texture packs and also further explanation from the developer. Before we start with the whole process, we are going to need a file explorer that is able to unzip 7Z or zip files. My favorite is the CX File Explorer, which you can download from the Google Play Store, and that you can install in a breeze here. Then you open it, you click on Next. It's gonna need some access to your files, obviously. Grant the access, and you are already good to go. Now in this nice user interface, we are going to click on SD cards down below because we will need to create one folder here, which is going to be required then later on for the HD texture packs. We are going to name the folder HD, well, if I can actually make it, HD texture packs, but you can freely choose your name, choose whatever you see fit here. And with that, we already can move on to the next step. And within that folder, we will need a DC subfolder, which is optional, but I like to have things organized. Now it's time to copy the HD packs that you have downloaded from the Reddit link. As you can see, I have 3 texture packs here, Crazy Taxi, Sonic Adventure, and for Spider-Man. You need to download these. I have them on my NAS server, so I can do that right away from the CX File Explorer. Otherwise, you will have downloaded them on your SD card directly or internal storage. And now you need to copy those packs over, respectively extract them. I have 3 archives now for the 3 games. You can highlight one or all of them at once and then click on the 3 dots, extract, and extract here. And it's going to extract the content of the files, and you will see in just a bit what the output is. If everything went according to plan, in the HD texture packs folder and the DC subfolder, you should have these 3 folders now. If you obviously downloaded all 3 texture packs, and we are good to go to the next step. where we are going to select our emulator of choice for today, which is going to be Flycast. Flycast, the standalone app, not the RetroArch core. You can also try with the RetroArch core. It should support also HD texture packs, but I find it a bit easier in the standalone app. And this is, by the way, also the reason why we are not using the excellent Redream app, because there you can't do HD texture packs. You can do upscaling if you pay for the in-app purchase, but you cannot do the packs. So let's stick with Flycast standalone. Once downloaded from the App Store or the GitHub, we are going to start it for the first time, and we need to select the game folder where you have the Dreamcast ROMs saved. In my case, it's on my SD card. I have a classic ESTE setup. There is a ROMs folder with a Dreamcast subfolder if I can find it. There it is. You click on it, use this folder, and we click on allow. And it's already basically loads up all the games. And after a couple of seconds, you should pretty much have all the cover arts as well. In the settings general tab, we scroll down. Here is where we need to select the custom path for the texture pack folders. So we are going to go to the folder that we created a bit earlier in this video. On my SD card, it's called HD Texture Packs, DC subfolder. Use this folder and then allow. Now let's point the emulator to the BIOS folder, which you hopefully found on the web. A quick search should do the trick. I have it on the XD card, subfolder DC here, and then you can click on use this folder, allow, and that's next up under cable. This is where we are going to check the virtual, let's call it cable connection. You want to select VGA here, which is a 480 output. Doesn't work with every game, but if it doesn't work, the software will automatically default to the next best option. What did I change in the video tab compared to the standard? For one, under rendering options, you set the resolution to X4, which means 4 times the resolution. Then we need the load custom textures. I will show you what the preload option is, as well as the widescreen game cheats. Then under anisotropic filtering, 16x, and I personally like to see the FPS counter. Now the preloading of the textures and whether you really need that or not is going to depend on the power and RAM of your handheld. I'm going to show you what happens if you select the preloading. Basically, when you start the game, you'll see this will take 10 to 15 seconds, but then everything in-game should be smoother. On the Ein4 that I used in this video, I did not really need that. No issues whatsoever without the preloading. Let's go into the controls tab where you want to click on the first one, virtual gamepad, increase the transparency to 100 so that you don't see the overlay. Otherwise, all the controls are pretty much already set. You can click on the Xbox controller. You see everything is there. The only thing that I changed is the load state, which I set to L1. Sorry for the focus issue here. And then the save state, I'm setting that to R1, but you can also use L3 and R3. Before I show you some games and the SDE setup, it is the right time to subscribe if you haven't done already and like this video. This is very much appreciated. Now let's jump into some of the games with and without HD texture packs, and then after that will be to the optional ESTE setup, because I like everything nice looking, integrated into the overall experience, in this case of the AYN Thor. Now before we disco, let's make everything nice and beautiful. We can configure the ASDE launcher, which is my preferred one here. Open the launcher on the bottom screen, for example, of your AOA Thor or whatever handheld you're using. With the start button, we go into the settings where we can scrape the newly added Dreamcast games. That should take a bit depending on how many games you have. In my case, I added 15 games, which was about 2 or 3 minutes of waiting time. There it is, all nice and beautiful looking. Now what we need to do is to set the right emulator so that the ESD knows what to do. We go into the settings again, other settings, and here we go to Dreamcast and select Flycast Standalone. And now let's quickly launch a game directly from ESDE. You will see we are launching Crazy Taxi. It will directly open on the top screen the Flycast emulator and the game. And some moments later you are ready to game and to rumble Crazy Taxi with HD packs enabled. Isn't that a great experience? Have fun. I hope you liked this video. Take care.